Most fearless motorcyclists are trying everything they can to escape the police. These chase scenes, which have the whole world talking, aren't taken from an action movie. The adrenaline is about to kick in. Get ready. As soon as the video of this man fleeing from the police on a 300cc Honda XRE motorcycle was posted online, it was viewed 8 million times in less than 24 hours. You may have seen this chase yourself. This chase, which took place in São Paulo, Brazil, lasted 8 minutes, and the action intensified with every passing second. Some news channels have called this chase the best on the planet. The motorcyclist was wanted by the police. A young woman was riding behind him. The suspect thought he could evade the police in an area he knew very well. However, the skilled Brazilian ROCAM police officers were just as skilled at riding motorcycles as the fleeing rider. Without a second thought for the woman behind him, the rider sped over speed bumps at full throttle, causing her to be thrown about 1 meter into the air. By sheer luck, she didn't fall. Perhaps she was experienced in such situations. In the video intro, we showed you some scenes in a different way. Let's see if you can spot these mistakes. As time went on, the danger intensified. The rider was passing other vehicles as closely as possible. At one point, his helmet came within just a few centimeters of scraping against a bus. Ignoring the police officer's verbal warnings, the driver opened the throttle wide. He zoomed through a large crowd that included motorcyclists. The police officer was right behind him. This moment, which unfolded completely naturally, became a defining moment that boosted the rider's reputation. That's because many of these chases in Brazil aren't about committing a crime, but are staged as a show of defiance against the police and the public. ROCAM police officers use different motorcycle models ranging from 300cc to 800cc, depending on the terrain conditions and type of operation, rather than a single type of motorcycle. While agile and lightweight motorcycles are preferred for intense urban pursuits in narrow streets, heavy machines with high displacement engines come into play on main roads and wide avenues. Is there any motorcycle enthusiast out there who can guess which motorcycle the police were riding in this chase? During these chases, police officers also have to contend with the local population. Some people may jump in front of the police to support the suspect or try to force him off the road. There's a high probability that the fleeing individual is a relative of one of them. However, such a situation does not occur during this particular chase. The high-speed, bumpy chase along the main streets has begun to veer into narrow alleys. The moments of the escape through alleys so narrow that barely two people can walk side by side are coming up shortly. The woman waiting at a street corner showed no reaction as the motorcycle rider passed very close to her. She's probably quite used to these chases. A dog that darted in front of the police narrowly avoided being run over by the motorcycle at the last moment. Amid the astonished stares of onlookers, the chase through the narrow streets was about to come to an end. The police officer, seeing the suspect crash his motorcycle into a rock, let out a triumphant laugh. The rider and his friend were taken into custody. Once again, a motorcyclist who ignored a police order to stop on the streets of Brazil led the police on a lengthy chase. He turned the city's streets into a racetrack. Let's see if the ROCAM police's determination will be enough to stop the suspect this time. Although robberies across São Paulo fell to their lowest level in 25 years in 2025, 87% of the motorcycle-based getaways pursued by ROCAM involve suspects stealing smartphones. The motorcycles ridden by fleeing suspects are almost always stolen. According to official data from 2025-2026, the Honda CG160 and Honda CG160 Start are by far the most commonly stolen models in Brazil, and the ones most frequently used in getaways. Criminals prefer these low-cc motorcycles because they are lightweight and spare parts are readily available everywhere. The PIT maneuver, which we often see in chases in the U.S., is not used by ROCAM officers. ROCAM officers do not immediately ram the suspect from behind. Instead, they pursue him for several minutes. The reason for this is the ROCAM doctrine. The police do not intentionally corner the suspect. Instead, they wait for the suspect to panic, make a mistake, and take themselves out of the running. This is a psychological attrition tactic used to protect both bystanders and the police officer's life. If you're interested in recorded chase footage and detailed police reports from around the world, you can subscribe to our channel. We post 2 new videos every week. You can support us by liking our videos, leaving comments, and giving us a hype rating. The secret to the success of these pursuits is that the backup officer, the one holding the gun constantly, provides real-time coordinates to the command center via a microphone inside his helmet. If the pursuit involves a high-risk suspect, helicopter cameras or urban EDS cameras are deployed. At that point, the suspect has very little chance of escape. The suspect, who has been driving through nearly the entire city with police in hot pursuit, makes a wrong decision and enters a dead-end street. In fact, the police are counting on the suspect to make a mistake. Realizing the dead-end street leads nowhere, the driver is forced to stop, and the police apprehend the suspect within a few seconds. Footage from the moment of the arrest is generally not released.